have a go at this guy. Look at him. Kano, man, he's all this. He's all this.
Gotta get your
Take him down in 2 minutes. Round one, mate.
I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat growing up. My parents wouldn't let me. It was too violent. So I used to sneak play it at my cousin's house without them knowing. So yeah, it would have been in primary school. I think I would have been maybe like about 9 or something. But yeah, I didn't really get to do a deep dive into the whole Mortal Kombat universe until I started auditioning for this role, and then it was like down the rabbit hole, and now I feel like I'm an expert at Sonya Blade.
Yeah, for me, I was, I'm showing my age here a bit, but I'm of the era where I would have to go down to the corner store and play it at the arcade, right? And put 20-cent pieces into the slot. And so that was how I first discovered it, which, by the way, it's kind of like, I feel like that's the best way.
Right. Yeah.
It's the best way. It's kind of like, music aficionados saying that vinyl is the best way to listen to music. I think if you're going to play the game, you got to play it on the big arcade machine. That's the way to do it. And like Jess, I'd known it as when it first came out and stepped away from it as I got older and didn't realize how complicated and rich the history and evolution got as the game progressed over the decades. So when I got the film and revisited it, I was like, oh, this is so much more than just a fighting game. These characters have backstories, and the world has grown so much that it was, for sure, there was a lot to download when I became part of the film, and you couldn't do it all. You couldn't take it all on because it was just too much.
It's overwhelming. I know there's so much information. It's a whole universe, truly. And I didn't quite understand that either, and now I do. And also interacting with so many people online as the film started to come, the trailer and everything, you're like, wow, I had no idea the breadth and the depth of people's like love and this whole world.
Well, see, that's interesting about Mortal Kombat. It has been around, for it feels like forever. I was a kid at the convenience store playing it too. So it was big. It was actually a back room, the convenience store. You had to ask to go. But with
you had to ask to go back there. You had to go.
Yeah, you have to know the guy, and then you're allowed.
Dude, that's crazy because that would never happen in Australia because we always had those tricks where you'd like put like the 20-cent piece on a piece of wire and you'd put it in, then take it back out again and put it in. So you'd just use the same money. Nice. So if it was in a back room, who knows what's going on back there? No, it was always in front of the dude who ran the shop. So he could keep cheat. Yeah, so you can't cheat. That's so interesting.
So you had the little tricks. You were Kano. You were in character as Kano, even as a kid with the coin on the string.
He was already a stealer.
Good spin, James. I like that. I'm gonna use that.
Kano and Sonya, they have this relationship over the games. They're intertwined, and that really comes across in the movie. How mindful of that were you when you were sort of acting against each other?
Yeah, well, it was certainly in the script to begin with, but our director Simon really gave us the freedom to play with that relationship as much as possible, for sure. He really enjoyed, I think, that dynamic that came across between the two of us, and so yeah, we really leaned into that. And Josh is very fun to act opposite to because he's so good at improv. So it was really fun for me to really kind of, I guess, work off him as much as I could.
Yeah, completely. It's always easier to act, when the dynamic is clear, right? And the dynamic between Kano and Sonya, very clear. It's always been clear in the games that they are, they are antagonists, for each other. It's one of the most fun relationships, I think, in the film. To watch this. I mean, many times I think Jess and I laughed. They felt like an old married couple.
Just bickering, constantly
at each other's throats. But yes, it obviously, there are darker elements to that relationship that are brutal, Mortal Kombat elements. But yes, at times there is a fun quality to how much they hate each other.
Yeah, like it really comes across, like in another universe, there's a buddy cop movie waiting to happen between Sonya and Kano.
Absolutely, Tango and Cash kind of.
If you're both in character, Sonya and Kano, and you could fight any person, living, dead, fictional or real, who would you want to fight in Mortal Kombat?
I would love to fight someone like Lara Croft, like, you know, someone like an equal to, you know, like a really cool, where kind of in that similar universe of action hero. I mean, I would love to fight as an actress any Charlize Theron character. So I would love to be in a film where I get to like have a fight with her as an actress. That's a kind of different, going down a different path. But yeah.
Look, I don't know. Who would I fight? In maybe Greta Thunberg? Kidding,
Ooh.
kidding. Totally kidding. I love her. I'm kidding. She's
I was kind of like, just roll with this as best as I can.
No, I love her. She's a hero. No. That's the sort of thing Kano would say. To be honest.
I mean, Kano would. And I
That's
think
what I
Greta
mean.
would win.
Like
I think
Betty
Greta
White.
would win that fight.
Betty White.
Betty White. By the way, both Betty White and Greta Thunberg, I feel like they'd both win. I really do. I mean, Kano's got a big mouth, but I don't know if we can back it up. I feel, you know what? Let's make it Conor McGregor. Let's really make this a show. But both loud mouths. At least the pre-match, you know, smack talk would be fun.
It'd be amazing.
Conor.
I'd rather watch the drinking contest between those two.
Completely. Have a go at this. Going, look at him. Kano, man, he's all this. He's all this.
Gotta get you.
Take him down in 2 minutes. Round one, mate. Round one, mate.
What do you want to see next for like the Mortal Kombat cinematic universe, if you want to use that term?
Well, more Kano. Just selfishly. No, I mean, there's so much to explore. I would love to see new characters for sure, but at the same time, I think I would. You know, I think there's so much more evolution from the characters that we meet in this film as well. So, you know, a combination of that, I think there's, gosh.
I mean, maybe this is the actor in me, but I would love to see more of the characters that already exist in this film, and more of their backstory and how they came to be. But that might not be what your greater Mortal Kombat fans are after. I mean, and I like the Johnny Cage aspect to that. That's also in a selfish way. I want to see how they end up together and get together and have a kid together. I think that's also fascinating. But for me as well, I want more Kano because I love the Sonya Kano dynamic as well.
Well, that's all the time I've got. So thank you very much to both of you.
Thanks, James.
I can't wait to see when the film comes out. Until then, take care.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, James. See you, dude.